So this is my Gentemstick. This is my Mantaray. There are many Mantarays out there, but this is my Mantaray. And I'm just stoked to have it. We're just doing a new review because, last year I did it kind of late season after I got this. We've had a lot more time on it. And got Peter on it. And I told him, this board is going to blow your mind.
This guy literally talked about it all the time. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. It's just some overpriced, crazy technical, weird board that I'm not going to like that much. And I'm glad that I came in with those low expectations because, hands down, one of the best boards I've ever ridden in my entire life.
Yeah, it's
top 10.
There's something special about Gentemstick, and some of their boards can get super technical and weird and require a lot of time and a different riding style. This is just the everyman's board. This is the plug and play. You can go like this, you can go like this, you can even ride it a little duck, and it's just good times however you set it up. And we rode this with I believe Union Atlas and Adidas Tactical ADVs, and we got a couple days on it. I've had lots of days on it in all types of conditions. And the last couple of years, they've switched from bamboo sidewalls to ABS, which is much more durable. Maybe not as environmentally friendly, but far more durable. And at this price point, you don't want to blow out a sidewall.
Durability equates environmental sustainability
to longevity in some ways. Yeah. Sizing wise, I used to ride the 54 and I loved it. It just felt a touch small. This 56 is just right. Just American size.
Perfect size. Wouldn't want to change a thing about this board.
Yeah, it's a good friend. It's a good friend. And the shape, it's got a good bit of taper to it, but it's not like the super tapered boards. It's a little more tapered than most traditional free ride boards that are kind of like, a few mil to about 10. I think this is like 16 to 20, somewhere around there. So you can see there's a good bit of taper here. There's a little bit of setback on board, as you can see. The nose is definitely longer than the tail, but there's only 5 inserts. So they really kind of want you to be in one place on this board. It's not really for setting it forward or back. You just put it in and keep it there. But the camber is very subtle, very mellow. The one before mine was less than. It was more. This was less. Had a little more, so each board bends differently. But it's just really stable. It doesn't feel locked in.
You really do feel where they want you to be on this board.
Yeah.
There is something about once you dial it into the exact location, it just snaps in. You're just like, oh. The personality of the board comes alive to me.
Would I like more inserts? Yes, but I get what they're doing, and that's fine. Skidding turns, it's a little more advanced to expert, but I think an intermediate could ride this.
Yeah.
Have a pretty good time.
Yeah, I could give this to an intermediate rider and could blow their freaking mind.
And give it a little flex there, Peter. I'll let you touch it again.
Yeah, it's just perfect. Just
kind of medium stiff.
Medium stiff.
I could butter this off the tail, no problem. I really like the way just this plays around.
Medium stiff in all the right places.
And lots of pop.
Lots of pop.
A lot of energy here.
So accessible pop too.
Yeah, and it's not it's not one of those super light boards either, like some of the Gentemstick boards, like the Rocket Fish and such, and the Chasers and the Barracuda. They're really light and poppy, and they're too poppy. So when you pick up speed, they start to get some chatter. And this isn't a bomber, but it can handle a little speed. It can handle uneven terrain. It's a good all conditions ride where. You can ride it in the morning and you can still be out turning in messy, tracked out snow at the end of the day and have a good time.
I definitely was having, especially switching back and forth that day between every board. This board just seemed to handle just a little bit of everything so damn well, but with such class, poise, and distinct personality that
How was that base glide?
That set it so far apart. And oh my God, it's just like you can be doing slower churns yet go like churning much sharper yet going much faster.
It's what you would expect for this price point.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one of the best bases I've ever been on. All the Gentemstick bases, they're just all black. They're just so easy to repair. They like wax, and when they're waxed, they just, like, this is the board you want on a like powder day where you have a long cat track to get out of.
Or when you're on like a just not such a steep incline and you want to be going faster.
Yeah.
In that, you know,
long cat tracks, this just jams through those.
You focus on that so much, but
I hate long cat tracks.
I know, we all do, but like that's not where this board shines. Like in that, you know, in that blue run, you're going to be zooming past everyone.
Yeah, it's a low angle master.
It's a low angle master.
Yeah, and that's probably why we like it so much, because we ride a low angle mountain like Bachelor. But still, like, even back at Mammoth riding some steeper terrain with the 54, I was like, this isn't that bad, you know, it does a good job. But edge hold, really good. Just kind of, they're doing magic with their side cut. I don't know if they don't see any disruptions, but it holds really well. It's just really good edge hold.
It's like not a serrated knife, but it's just a really sharp, like just great Japanese steel, you know, just
well
like
said.
Slicing through that piece of raw fish, you know, just like, I don't know if they're doing some sort of magic in there.
Yeah,
with that edge hold.
The turn initiation is kind of like medium fast to fast, but so fun. Like, you would think a board with so little camber would not be as fun to turn and carve, and just any kind of turn I can think of, from like little quick, powerful back and forths to kind of widening it out to really starting to carve, and just to even circle carve.
To just carving back up hills.
Yeah. I mean, it really likes some back foot weight. You can, you know, you can center. Yeah, I mean, you can, you know, ride, you know, like zero, even slightly duck, put it forward. But when you put it forward really directional, it doesn't feel as like you need to go as back foot heavy. But the more you go like this, the more you need more back foot weight, like you would with most tapered boards. But still, like, all the different personalities, however you set this up, this is a great board for somebody who's not sure if they want to go super posy. You know, like those people, like, and they want to go a little narrower. If you want to start playing around with that, but want to have the ability to go back, this is one of those boards to start with.
I mean, me personally, I never set a board this positive and this narrow. I think I set it at like 19 or 19 and a half. And
I think it was like 37.
30, it was in the 30s.
High 30s.
In the front. High 30s in the front, like 33 to 37.
Like 12 to
18
15 or something.
Something around there. But we're talking like in the 30s and in the late teens over here in the back. Super narrow stance, and just, I don't know, there was just such a style. And the moment I just got on the board, the style and everything about it came alive. It became so apparent what this whole like kind of Japanese style of like writing is, and why it's so appealing, and why it's having such a positive influence on our entire board industry.
One of the oldest styles of riding too, but it's old new to us. It's like retro cool kind of thing.
Everything has its cycles, and it's cycling super hard right now.
Yeah. And you know, powder, you didn't get this in powder, and you know, I'd like some more setbacks, but I get it. What I love though is just all this, the rocker and the big nose, the taper. You know, it's pretty far set back on board, not massive compared to some of the Gentemsticks, but it's more than most freeride boards by a good bit. And you can get some pretty decent directional float, and I had a blast in powder. It's not maybe my first choice out of Gentemstick's line. The Barracuda and the Chasers are just much easier floaters, but I just love this board in all conditions, so I'm okay with a little less float as this for my board. But yeah, it's a fun slash. It can get a little drive. It's a very versatile powder board, and it's great when the conditions get chopped up. It's a great resort powder board because when it gets chopped up and messy, this thing still keeps going where the other ones start to buck and bounce you around.
Yeah. And I've ridden other boards in this price range that didn't have nearly this type of magic for me, and I 100% see why this just like hit the Good Ride favorites, why BC would never stop talking to me about it, why he kept telling me I needed to try it. And the moment I tried it, it's just got so much in it that is, like, I can describe it all day long, but then it's just...
Yeah, and you know what, for me at first, the first time I tried Gentemstick, the Stingray was like the board for me. But then I got on the Mantaray, and that was the board for me. Then and that's a 54. Then I got on the 56, and then I was like, oh God, this is it. And I've ridden a lot of Gentemsticks now, and this is the one that just, you know, it's pretty much guaranteed it's going to make you happy if your specs fit this.
Yeah, I mean, one of my absolute favorite boards I've ever ridden in my entire life.